This is the Doctor, continuing the Unicorn Overlord playthrough. In the last episode, we fought Renault, liberated Euclid City. Then, as a bonus surprise, we had to go fight Galerius, who actually killed Elaine. But then Elaine got magically resurrected somehow. It's all semi-unclear what exactly happened, but he is still alive, and we are in control of the city. Now, why did Galerius not just, make sure Elaine was dead? Who knows? Saturday morning cartoon villain logic. But he seems happy with himself, so we'll leave him be. We got plenty of other things to do. Let's start... Oh boy, where should we start? Maybe we can start by talking to all these randos around this city. Knight. Lord Renault was a fine knight once. A shame such can only be said in the past tense. Was it defeat at Zenora's hands that caused his heart to sour? I can only wonder. Knight. Lord Renault was a man changed after he capitulated to those foul Zenorans. He joined her side without so much as a second thought, lending them both materials and manpower alike. Alright. Noble. Seeing Renault like that helped me realize there are no guarantees in life. I only hope I grow strong enough to protect my home, no matter what may come of it. Houndsperson. We owe our stability to the Liberation and their generosity. You may not realize, but they've lent us no small number of soldiers. As commander of the army, in theory, shouldn't I know about this sort of stuff? Soldier. After his defeat, Lord Renault simply disappeared. Strange, isn't it? Soldier. You can find an awful lot of mercenaries in big cities like this one, though not too many are keen on fighting an uphill battle. The Liberation's got a long road ahead of it. Courier. Lord Renault was a horrible tyrant who worked us to the bone and deeper, but now we're finally free. Courier. You're with the Liberation, right? Mind passing a message to that red-haired fella you got with ya? I mean, Lex? He saved my sister when she fell in the canal. Dove right in with full armor, no less. Now all she talks about is the Crimson Knight that saved her life. He's her hero. Lex. You sly dog, you. Always with the heroics and getting the ladies to swoon after you. Mercenary. Honors symbolize your success as a commander. The more you've got, the greater the army you can lead. Though speaking for myself, I never know if I should use them to get more units or to add slots to the ones I already have. Alright, we got another one of these cemeteries, but Sharon always says the exact same thing. So she's just gonna interact with it. Alright, then we have some more loot. If you try to interact with the Fornia Sanctuary, Lane just says the Sanctuary is quiet and absent even the slightest hint of activity. I suppose I'll have to make for Elheim first, just as the great sage said. Then we can at least loot all this stuff over here. Talk to the guy with the exclamation marking a bit. Town Girl. The wall to the north here used to safeguard our city against both Drakenhold and Bastorius. But with everything under Zenorian control now, it serves no purpose. You can walk straight through. Soldier. This area used to be a disputed territory between us and Drakenhold. That was a long time ago, years before Zenoria came along. Nowadays, all the battering rams and catapults are gathering dust. A fair few termite droppings, too. Town Girl. 2 men from the Liberation saved our lives when there were bandits chasing us through the city. Sir Clive is the one who rescued me. He's so strong and determined, yet holds such steely depth in his eyes. It was the gallant Sir Hodrick who helped me out. He's got a heavy presence, but somehow understated too. Well, everyone's impressed with the Liberation. For good reason. We're just running around, looting what we can. See, we are at a town here. These stone circles, if you interact with it right now, Chloe will just say strange. The rocks here are lined up in a perfect circle. And you don't get to know what those are until much later. It's not even like, I don't know how you're supposed to know which character unlocks it without just randomly clicking on the stone walls and like interacting with them and hoping for a good result, because I don't know how you're supposed to figure this stuff out. Okay, we've got all sorts of loot to interact with. We got a tower. Really? Usually Lex can enter these towers. I don't know why he can't enter this one. Healing tonic large. There's another broken bridge here. This time we'll call for Keetra. Oil bridge. Won't be easy getting it back into shape. I think it'll take 30 pieces of quartzite if you really want to make it happen. Another one of these bridges to fix up. Now this guy is got a special symbol. Old man. Well, if it isn't one of Zenoria's finest generals. What are ye buying today, sir? Wait a second, that crest you got, it's not Zenorian at all. Sorry to say, but that means I can't sell to you. Nothing personal, honest. Obeying our great emperor is the only way I keep my head on my shoulders. Though, prove your strength and I might just reconsider. Wait, are you that liberation I've heard so much about? The one that's taking the sword straight to Zenoria's throat? Now that changes things. Here, this old permit makes me and you business partners. I'm glad to sell you whatever you got the coin for. Oh, and keep it discreet, yeah? I work in the dead of night, and that's it. Got the black market trader. I didn't even realize there was a quest for this. Some honors, war funds, and the black market permit will let us buy from him. Good seeing you again, partner. Come on and take a look at what I've got. So he is a black market merchant, and he sells exceptionally good gear. We have 76,000, and we could easily spend pretty much all of it here. He's got Thief's Mantle. This item, I feel like, is actually really strong for a significant part of the game. It gives the evade ability and activates before being attacked. So this item lets you do what Travis does. And if you put it on a character who's really dodgy already, like say Oclese or Fran. In fact, I kind of love that item on Fran. She can use her natural evasion, and if that, for whatever reason, fails, she gets one guaranteed evade. Very, very powerful. It is pricey to match. We also have a carnelian pendant and a lapis pendant. These two I'm just going to buy like straight away. They're just objectively useful. There's Zenorian swords and axes and spears. For 5,000, it's quite an interesting upgrade. A lot of defenses. Not bad for someone like Lex, to be honest. Quite a boost. But 5,000 is still a decent amount of money. There's Iron Shackles. Now that one's also real interesting. You can give it to someone like Holdrick. Take 5% less damage. Someone with real low initiative. Maybe even Bruno could be interesting. They're so slow, it hardly matters what their initiative is anyway. But 5% less damage, it's not that impressive. Starless Bow, this does Shadow Arrow. I believe, yeah, that's a nice one. Attack a single enemy, inflict blindness. So if you don't kill blindness, it's a guaranteed miss. And unless it's dispelled, there's no buff you can give that can overwhelm blindness. The only way is to like dispel it. So it's quite good. 3,000 is also real cheap, but the damage is too low. Just 11 damage. It's not enough. This item, yes, the Idealist Hand Mirror. We should use that. Probably not in this episode, but soon. It allows you to, first of all, change the character's look. You have to be very careful about how we want to do the character's look. But then you can use it to set their growth. So let's just find a good example of a character who might need some adjusting. Ralph, what are your stats? Offensive and Guardian. Okay, perfect example. Offensive is great for Ralph. He knees attack. But Guardian, I believe, increases like guard rate, defense, something like that. An Archer, like him, he's never gonna defend. Like, those stats are just completely meaningless on someone like him. Even upping evasion would be better than guard rate. He might actually evade, but the guard is like irrelevant. Travis is another good example. Like offensive, really don't think thieves rely on their pure damage. Like, they're more about debuffing enemies, and you know, they can do damage through poison, stuff like that. But it's not gonna, like, having 11 physical attack or 13, that doesn't matter at all for him compared to someone who actually uses swords like offensively, like for pure damage, like Berenice. Travis is never gonna get up anywhere close to someone like Berenice, or even someone who's more. Joseph, really? Your physical attack is only 11? I knew your stats were kind of bad, but I didn't realize they were that bad. Huh, Oclese is only 12? Really? Travis is doing surprisingly good on the physical attack. Huh. Like, that's better than I thought it would be. But I think part of that is because he has the offensive. That's like artificially increasing it. Who else? Yana has 2 offensives. It's pretty solid. I don't think we need to change that. More than 2 offensive, that's really good. Miriam, that's interesting. Guardian is actually good on Radiant Knights, but might want to change the other growth type. Holdrake is a classic example. Keen, I believe, is accuracy, and offensive is like physical attack. Hot Place will never do much damage. So, changing Holdrake to be more tanky would be excellent. Even like someone like Clive, like defensive is not good on a cavalry unit like him, like a knight. You want to be attacking all the time. So, what about Osh? Precise and lucky. I always feel like you need your magic attack up. Lucky, I think, is crit. Is that right? Or is it evasion? I can't remember. I can't remember these things. The point is, we will find a character to use that idealist ham hero we got. I want to pick someone who I want to redesign and who we want to update their growth types. Because like Morden, I would never use it on. His growth type is perfectly fine. Yana, probably never. I think that's fine. Berenice is amazing, offensive and precise. That's like exactly what I want. Maybe Bruno of all people. Oh, precise is real good. Defensive? Yeah, maybe. Ooh, Aubyn's good. I think Clive is a good choice. Maybe we'll use it on him. Okay, enough of this talk. Let's go buy. You know what? I will buy this East Mantle, and we will give it to Fran, as we previously discussed. 20,000 is a lot, but I think it's worth it. And then there's one extra idealist hand mirror. I'll probably come back and buy it at some point, but 30,000 would deplete all of my reserves right now, and might need that money for other items. Okay, got a Farsight Crystal, little church here, magic mine. There is a scary looking unit guarding the way to Grand Corinne. Alright, let's see what the deal is with some of these towns here. Ooh, there's another sparkly. Bet there's a way across. There we go. Got an extra divine shard. Excellent. Alright, townsperson. Life is a cruel and miserable beast, no matter which lord rules over us. Earl, my grandma says she saw Queen Elenia once. Apparently she was the most beautiful queen that's ever lived. Old woman, we may have had ourselves the odd skirmish with Rekenhode here or there. But all in all, life was much easier when Queen Elenia was still around. Alright. Units comprised solely of cavalry soldiers boast tremendous mobility compared to their infantry peers. Not to mention they make for a gallant sight indeed. Oh, just the thought of a man on a horse. Wow. Mercenary. The last battle I fought was a right mess, I'll tell you what. I was stuck in the woods so I couldn't see much. Then we got ambushed and had to run for our lives. As far as I know, you don't actually get any sort of like attack bonuses for ambushing. That does feel like a missed opportunity. Like, I feel like some units should be able to hide in the woods, and then if you can attack an enemy and they don't see you, you should get like a first strike. Maybe even like a slight attack buff. That'd be a cool mechanic. Alright. Faded Journal 3. Elaine. This appears to be a journal, but I can only parse a small handful of the antiquated words with ink. Perhaps if we had one more capable than Yana. Hand it here. This language has been dead for a few good centuries now, and the tome is sealed by a powerful magic, no less. And there, the seal is broken. It seems to be a clue to an ancient treasure. If its words ring true, there is one such treasure in each nation, deftly concealed behind the stone carvings scattered across the landscape. Let's consider its scripts and claim their reward as our own. We've got an overworld quest carved of Cornean stone. Deal with that in a bit. Let's see what we can do to Grunport
Town.
Town.
You're after, you're in the right place.
Or is this Grewport Town?
Be seeing ya.
Grewport Town.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place.
Alright, what do we got? Vitality, Talisman, Hoarfrost Axe. Attack a single enemy, inflict freeze. I do like the inflict freeze, but 13 damage is pretty low. I think we want a better, and 6,000? That's a lot. I think we want a better item.
Here to shop, or maybe to sell.
Scented
Just
soap.
say the word. Thank you very much.
We'll buy some of those. And we will deliver the goods this town needs. Townsperson, thank you kindly, Your Highness. We'd still be living off water and oat bread if you hadn't come along and helped us out. Oh, Cornea's after a new leader, you know. I just pray we find one as kind as you. If you don't mind me saying so, Your Highness. Let's put one of the Knights of the Rose here, Keitra.
Can do.
Then let's go to the next town here. See what everyone has to say. Boy, you know Castle Grand Corinne over in the capital? It's humongous. I nearly fainted the first time I saw it. I hope I get to go back again soon. Villager, doesn't matter if you've got the kindest lord or the worst tyrant. Nothing ever changes in a tiny town like this. Just you wait, me and my sword are going to make a name for ourselves and I'll finally get out of this miserable place. Village girl. Our people used to adore Lord Renault. He was a kind knight, bearing both wisdom and bravery in equal measure. But now we've only ever remembered him as a cruel oppressor. Old woman. I wish my fool of a son would trade that sword of his for a spade. We should work the fields, settle down with a nice girl. He keeps going on and on about making a name for himself, but he can barely even hold a damn thing. Well, that sounds fair. Alright, we can fix up this town, Avagu Village, as well. Avagu Village. Villager, our days of suffering have finally come to an end, thanks to all of your generous aid. It's been quite some time since I've had such hope for the future. Excellent. Let's put not Miriam, Fran in charge here.
I won't let you down.
The possessions Lord Renault stole from us may be gone forever, yes. But we can still rebuild. I have great faith in that. Alright.
If it's steel you're after,
What do we
you're
got?
in the right place.
Got another unwavering spear. These are great items, but the damage is starting to fall off a little bit. Like, I want better items. Viper bow, a poison bow. Good. It's too niche. It's only good against like armored units, and you don't want your archers attacking armored units. The rest of this stuff is pointless.
Be seeing.
Here to shop?
I
Or
will
maybe
buy
to
3
sell?
more scented soaps as
Just say
gifts.
thank you. Come.
I haven't really been giving out gifts, but we will. Don't worry, we will give out gifts. Alright, and let's see if we can fix up this last town here. Iron ore and lumber, but I'm missing 3 lumber, so not right now. However, I believe Eucrit, I don't even have to deliver any goods. It's already like fixed up. So I will put Miriam here.
I would be honored to accept.
So the Knights of the Rose are guarding the 3 towns we just liberated. Let's talk to this dude. You know, I'm of the mind to do a spot of map making, but I have far too many years for that kind of travel. Perhaps you let me copy off yours instead. I'll happily pay you for the privilege, of course, but my price will depend on how complete it is. Why don't you aim for 10% of the map to start? You really did it. Just give me a few to copy this over. We got 2 honors, free mining pass, free meal ticket. You know, honestly, I thought I spent my twilight years traveling the world and making maps, but Zenora put an end to that. Why don't you come back once you've filled in 25% of your map? So this is just a quest giver that gives you some periodic rewards for how much of the map you've unlocked. That's all there is to it. He has some nice things to say, but simple quest. Radiant Knight. 'Tis wonderful to see you, Prince Elaine. Have you found occasion to employ a Radiant Knight in battle? Combatants of my class are capable of completely negating magic attacks. It is an art we've cultivated through diligent practice. Witness its glory. Yep, well, don't field magic users against Radiant Knights. You know what would completely crush this group. Radiant Knights are super weak to Fran. We could put Keitra in, and then we could put Miriam for the Knights of the Rose. She will protect us against their sorcerers. And then Keitra, why don't you have a Carnelian in it? So you can hit an extra time. Really? Elaine's unit is not killing them? Fran should one-shot the front, but I see the problem. She is too slow. So we will give her that Dove's Plume temporarily. Now she goes first. She should one-shot the front. Oh, we don't actually have enough damage, really? Seriously? Okay, fine. Elaine, we'll take a break. Let's send in Addo. There we go.
I'll defeat you!
Oh, wow, she didn't actually fully one-shot them.
Forgive me.
Kind of surprising. But now Addo should be able to just crush the rest of these. And that magic barrier is a great ability. Not only does it prevent all magic damage, it prevents all afflictions.
Better keep this going.
Radiant Knight. That ought to be more than enough for today. Thank you, my prince. As a cavalry class, we find ourselves susceptible to flying enemies. Take careful note of the enemy's formations if you plan to deploy us in future battles. Yep. They're very susceptible. I know Fran wasn't able to finish them in one blow, but if you give Fran a better weapon and some more attack, she will be able to do that. Alright. What to do now? Perhaps it's time for a little bit of the Favorite archives, and we'll catch up on our events. The priestess abducted. I don't know if we read all of this yet. Elaine meets with the knight Miriam, who tells him that her accomplice Kitra has gone missing after heading to the walled city of Eucrit to gather intel on Renault. Upon hearing that Fran leads the search for Kitra, Elaine prepares to deploy for battle. Kitra, having escaped her captors, is caught again in the forest outside Eucrit before being rescued by Fran. Noting the fervor in the city and the soldiers from Grand Corinne, the two set off to rendezvous with the Liberation. Renault brings Scarlet to Galerius, who takes her to destroy the Sanctuary Seal, ordering Renault to stay behind and fend off the Liberation Army's assault on Eucrit. The Liberation succeeds in reclaiming Eucrit, but Scarlet is nowhere to be found. Though freed of Zenora's magical control, Renault remains unconscious. Elaine then learns that Galerius has taken Scarlet to the Sanctuary and hurries off. Valtro uses magic to break the Sanctuary Seal and resurrect the slain Galerius, who strikes Elaine down. Heartened to know that Scarlet is safe, Elaine is saved from an early demise by an ethereal voice, claiming to be one of Fevris' 6 great sages. Scarlet thanks Elaine for saving her and confesses she is the daughter of the Orthodoxy's Pontifex Aron. Elaine now must decide where to head to Elheim to carry out his revelation in the Sanctuary, or to Drakenholt in search of his cousin Virginia. That was a nice summary of the previous battle. Everybody's character has updates. Joseph rode with the Liberation Army and seized the walled city of Eucrit, thus considerably raising their profile. After countless days of patient preparation, it was their first major battle since he and Elaine have fled the capital. Hodrick marched with the Liberation Army and seized the walled city of Eucrit, thus considerably raising their profile. As the city fell, he took to safeguarding the local nobles and securing the Liberation's foothold. Elaine, he and the Liberation succeeding breaking Zenora's hold on the walled city of Eucrit and recovering Scarlet safe and sound. In so doing, he and the Liberation Army grew more popular throughout the streets of Fevris. Lex, after marching with Elaine to rescue Scarlet and reclaim the walled city of Eucrit, he was granted watch over captured soldiers and could often be seen making friends with the Liberation's prisoners of war. Chloe, after marching with Elaine to rescue Scarlet and reclaim the walled city of Eucrit, she became enamored with the gallant Knights of the Rose and started wondering if she can better serve the fight against Zenora. Okay, we will have to put Chloe with the Knights of the Rose at some point. Scarlet, after being imprisoned by Galerius within the walled city of Eucrit, she was used to perform a strange rite at Cornea's Sanctuary. She was then rescued by Elaine and returned to the ranks of the Liberation Army. Daughter and sole heir to the Pontifex of the Palavian Orthodoxy, a holy man by the name of Aron. When she was 8 years old, she was sent to Plavia under the pretense of training and hasn't returned to Albion since. I believe Elaine was 7 when that happened. Something like that. Doesn't actually say here. It was pretty good. Okay, Renault. A Zenorian knight formerly loyal to Cornea's throne. He is well acquainted with Joseph and Hodrick. He is renowned as both a powerful leader and an inspiring commander. He fought alongside Elenia during Valmore's rebellion. As Elaine and the others arrived in Cornea, Renault ambushed them and took Scarlet prisoner. Upon leaving Elaine's army, the mercenaries in his employ, Renault withdrew from the field of battle. After kidnapping Scarlet at Galerius' behest, Renault successfully delivered her onto him. With his sworn fealty to Galerius and his vow to defend the walled city of Eucrit, it seemed he had given himself over to Zenora entirely. In the end, Renault had acted under the sway of Zenora's magical control. After falling battle to Elaine and being freed by the ring's power, he entered a comatose state from which he has yet to awaken. Though last known to be in a comatose state, Renault disappeared, likely due to the shame he felt for his actions while under Zenora's magic of control. And then Clive marched with the Liberation Army and seized the walled city of Eucrit, thus considerably raising their profile. Due to his time in the province of the Ashen Blue, he was able to offer the city vital support after the battle. Hey, got quite done with the Cornean characters apparently. The Knights of the Rose. Kitra, a Knight of the Rose who worked closely with Miriam after Cornea fell. She infiltrated Eucrit to search for intel on Renault, but was caught and eventually rescued by Fran. After meeting Elaine, she agreed to enter his command. Fran, a Knight of the Rose who worked closely with Miriam after Cornea fell, Blessed with a keen eye and a loyal griffin, she took the disguise to rescue Kitra from Zenora. After meeting Elaine, she agreed to enter his command. And then Miriam, a Knight of the Rose who worked closely with Clive after Cornea fell to lay the groundwork for the Liberation's rise. After meeting Elaine in the course of her mission to track down Renault, she agreed to enter his command. Brackenhold character. Oh, Aubin has something new to say. Marched with the Liberation Army and seized the walled city of Eucrit, thus considerably raising their profile. After the battle, he took it upon himself to round up all the bandits in the region and restore public order to its lands. Technically, he didn't actually, join the battle, but it's okay. Travis marched with the Liberation Army and seized the walled city of Eucrit, thus considerably raising their profile. After the battle, he gave intel to all the local soldiers to make sure they were ready for whatever dangers may come. Okay, Albion characters, Arant. Before Zenora invaded Albion's shores, he sent his daughter Scarlet to the island of Palavia under the pretense of training. According to Galerius, Pontifex Arant no longer lives. Okay, Zenorian characters. Oops, let's see. After ordering Renault to kidnap Scarlet, he and Beltro used her to break the final seal on Fevre's sanctuaries, thus restoring Galerius to his full power. Once again at his full power, Galerius defeated Elaine with a single blow. Having demonstrated his might, he proclaimed the time was nigh to fulfill his duty as Fevref's monarch, and left the sanctuary with Beltro. Beltro. After Scarlet was kidnapped by Renault, Beltro used her to break the final seal on Fevre's sanctuaries. Though seemingly defeated, Galerius was resurrected and Beltro magicked both of them back to Grand Corinne. Alright. Locations. Walled city of Eucrit. The largest settlement in the Eucrit region of Eastern Cornea. Its enormous walls were originally built to defend against potential attacks from the neighboring nation of Drakenholt. It remains densely populated even in the present day. Avagu village. A village in the Eucrit region of Eastern Cornea that boasts vast farmlands and abundant annual harvests. It's said the village owes its prosperity to the immense monetary resources invested by its former lord Renault. Upont Town, a town in the Eucrit region of Eastern Cornea, situated on the banks of a serene lake. It is also known for its abundant foraging sites, rich ore veins, and verdant forests. Okay. I think I'm satisfied with those tidbits for now. Let's see. We have a little time left. Let's do some meals.
Good seeing you, friend. I'll take your order anytime.
I'm thinking Scarlet needs to celebrate. Then the Knights of the Rose should have their own little celebration. And we'll figure out how else to do it. So let's begin. Actually going from the bottom up. Let's have the Knights of Rose enjoy a meal. Petra, Fran, and Miriam. Free meal ticket, I'll save it for something more expensive.
Enjoy now.
What have we got here?
Some sort of bacon egg pastry dish.
How delightful! Would you care for some? I would struggle to take even one bite more.
That sounded like Miriam. It did not sound like Kitra. Okay, pasta al pomodoro with eggplant. I want to say Scarlet right now. She likes the OG crew, Elaine, Lex, Chloe, and Joseph. But she doesn't have anything else to say to anyone else yet. So let's have Scarlet, Elaine, Chloe. Wait, what am I not doing right? Oh, it should be a meal of 5. It should be the cheese-filled steak haché. Because then I could do Scarlett, Elaine, Chloe, Joseph, and Lex. Don't use the ticket yet.
Enjoy now.
Oh, that look pretty good.
Shall we? Delightful.
Do have some.
Tis good to relax every now and then.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay. Then I gotta figure out who else should have a conversation, or should have a 4-person meal. Morden. Morden could be interesting, especially with Berenice. Osh and Berenice. We could do Morden, Osh. Addo, who do you like again? Ralph. Addo also likes Berenice and Clive. Okay, we can do Morden, Berenice, Clive, and Addo. Oh no, we should do Morden, Morden, Osh, Berenice, and we're throwing Addo, why not? We could also throw in Ralph to get that Osh, but nah. Okay, we're gonna do our tavern. Enough
Good
talk.
see?
This one's the pasta al pomodoro with eggplant. That does also sound really good. Who is the last person? I almost feel like I need to write this stuff down because I can't remember who I said would be the last person. Okay, hold on. Osh, right. Where are you? Whoops, that's Elaine. This time I will use a free meal ticket.
Quite the spread they've got here.
It is quite the spread, you're right.
Best food I've ever eaten. Can't get stronger if you don't eat.
I couldn't eat another morsel.
That sounds like
Don't
Osh.
be a
Alright, we have a lot of conversations that can now happen. Where to begin? Let's begin with the folks around the walled city. This one's Elaine and Hodrick. Hodrick, 'tis a fine evening, your highness. Elaine, it is indeed. A kind of peaceful atmosphere which calls to mind memories of my childhood. You remember the day you lifted me upon your shoulders to let me see above the castle balcony. Hodrick, I not soon forget it. Elaine, I can almost picture it now, gazing out at the endless lights which lay tranquil in the city below. Hodrick, as can I. Of course, I was still but a young man at the time, and took quite a scolding from Sir Joseph for exposing you to such danger. Elaine, yet dangerous as it was, I can think of few moments more filled with joy. I often pray that I would one day stand as tall as you, that I would bear the strength to support another, just as you did for me. 'Tis a prayer I continue to offer the heavens, even now. Hodrick, I've done nothing to deserve such kind words, your highness. Yet I feel the same. Those moments we spent together are truly a are a truly invaluable memory. I'm certain Queen Elenia would be pleased to see the fine man you've become in the time since. Elaine, I hope you're right. Yeah, that sounds like Holdrick, alright. Sounds like Elaine as well. We've got Adele and Berenice. Now this will be fun. Adele, hold a moment. Is that you, Berenice? Ah, it is. We've not seen each other since you left the Order. Berenice. Got booted from it, you mean? Guess this means you ride for the liberation now? Addo. It does. The time felt right, now that my province is rid of its cruel lord. If I may, though, you carry quite the blade. I take it you still bear little interest in cavalry work, then? Berenice. Would rather stick to what I do best, yep. Me and horses don't really see eye to eye. Addo. I remember. The day of our training, you spent more time on the ground than in the saddle. Berenice. Amusing, yes. Addo. Still, none of us could ever match your skill with a blade. Berenice. Good thing is, there's more to being a knight than clomping around on some dumb beast. Besides, I'm just a regular old mercenary now, and for us, steel is the only thing that matters. Addo, that's fair, yes. I'm sorry for even mentioning it. Seeing you just stirred up some old memories. Berenice, don't worry about it. Gotta say though, feels good being back on the same side. See you on the battlefield, Addo. Addo, I can't wait. That was surprisingly tame for the both of them. They do have another conversation later on, so maybe there'll be more drama. A lot of people on this road near this little town here. Berenice and Clive. Rogue. I won't forget this. Berenice. Yeah, just keep walking if you know what's good for you. Clive. Berenice, what's going on here? Berenice. Oh, that? Just a little scuffle is all. Hound girl. Thank you, ma'am. Clive. Ah, I believe I understand now. You stepped in to assist that girl. Yet judging by appearances, I can only assume you did so through force, not words. A noble deed marred by a most ignoble methodology. Berenice. Yeah, it's not the best look. You and I both know I've never been too big on tact. Clive. Be that as it may, there are more means to solve an issue than with your fists. Berenice, either way, a little chat wouldn't have helped much here. Black eyes and bruises are the only language a guy like that talks. Clive. Perhaps so, yes. Berenice, still, it's a point well taken. I'll keep it in mind next time, yeah. Can't promise it'll turn out any different, though. Clive. Whatever shall I do with you, Berenice? Clive, let Berenice just do her thing. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Ooh, Fran and Miriam. Knights of the Rose. Fran. What can I possibly do with all this? I couldn't ask Kitra again, not after last time. Miriam. Is something the matter, Fran? And what's that bag you have there? Is this how I learn you're abandoning our order? Fran. No, I would never. It's from my parents, actually. An assortment of all my favorite pickled vegetables. I'm thankful for the gift, of course, but I'll never be able to eat it all on my own. They also sent me an array of formalware, which has about as much use in battle as a hibernating griffin. Granted, we do have the occasional feast every now and then, but knowing the company we keep, wearing anything too fancy would just make me stick out. Miriam, might you be able to send it all back? Fran, I thought about that, but I've just been passing things off on Kitra's family instead. After all, I'd rather not hurt my parents' feelings if I can avoid it. Miriam, that does sound quite the puzzle. Well, I admit, I'm somewhat jealous to hear of it. The only missives I've ever received from my father demand that I honor our family name on the battlefield, and nothing more. Though I suppose I should be pleased to hear anything at all from him. The man is taciturn, to say the least. Fran, even so, I'm sure he worries about you in his own unique way. I bet no feat of bravery could ever make him happier than seeing you get home safe. Miriam, I pray you're correct. Now we have Kitra and Fran. Oh, this will be a lot more fun. Mercenary. Yeah. We'll get you for this girl. Just you wait. Fran. Kitra, what's going on here? Kitra, what's going on is those mercs were making fun of me, so I taught them a little manners. Fran, is that really all it took? You can't resort to violence over every bad word said about you. Think how you'll make us look, or yourself for that matter. You're the daughter of a lord, remember? You at least should start speaking like one, if nothing else. Kitra, sorry, not happening. The only lord our land's got now is the Noira. My mom and dad are gone. I'm not a noble, Fran, and neither are you, not anymore. Fran, we will be, once His Highness takes the throne. Everything will go back to the way it used to be. Kitra, that's what they say, yeah. But me, I'm not holding my breath. Fran, do you not believe in him, Kitra? Kitra, it doesn't matter what I believe. Besides, you're 5 times the proper lady I'll ever be. That's how it is, and that's how it's always going to be. Fran, you can't mean that. Kitra, I don't really. I know the prince isn't a bad guy. So, sorry. I'll watch what I say from now on. Promise. Anyway, I should get going. Places to be, you know. Fran. I wonder if that's a promise she can really keep. Yeah, and just let Kitra be Kitra. That's the solution to your problem. Alright, we still have a gazillion rapport conversations from all those meals we had. I already did 5. But maybe we do one more. What would be a good one? Oh, Osh and Berenice. We gotta end on this note here. Berenice. Nice hit, you got aim. Nice hit, you got aim back there, Osh. Osh? Sorry? I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about. Berenice. Yeah, figures you didn't even realize it was happening. An enemy came up behind you in that last battle. But you smacked him away without so much as thinking about it. You even use your staff, just a fist. Osh. I suppose my left hand does ache a bit. Berenice knocked the guy out cold too. Pretty good work for a fluke, if you ask me. We've got to tap into that skill, Osh. Train you up into a real bruiser. Osh. Please, never stand that close to me again. Berenice, you saying you don't want to learn how to fight? Shame. I'd be glad to teach you. Osh. I'll not be undergoing any martial instruction, thank you. I've not enough time to hone my sorcery as it stands. Berenice. Oh, come on. A little muscle will give that magic of yours all the oomph you could ever need. Now quit your complaining and let's get started already. Osh, please no. Somebody help. Mother! Berenice, I think I'm going to enjoy this. Now that is a good place to end the conversations, but not quite this episode. There's one last thing I'm going to do before we end the episode, because we have to know what our next battle is. And remember that lady near the circle? Also, there's this battle. Why couldn't I beat this Oh, right, because I needed a Griffin Knight. Wow, I might actually be able to beat this now with Fran's unit. Oh, we are like 1 damage short, really? Is it because... Yeah, it's because they were knocking out someone in the front. Okay. We needed Fran to take out the cavalry in the front. Or almost take them out.
Oh, embarrassing.
My training's paid off.
Soldier, about that splendid could almost move me to tears, your highness. In any case, do you better understand the threat we pose to cavalry? Be sure to use a soldier whenever you face them. Actually, I don't know that's actually good advice. The real counter to cavalry are Griffin Knights. I feel like the soldiers, maybe I'm not doing it right, but you need like so much physical attack to overcome the Knights' defenses, the cavalry's defenses, and like Knights actually have reasonable amounts of defense usually. Like their physical defense growth is B. Pretty good. So if you can't get a big differential between the attack and the defense, even if you have the bonus potency, it doesn't really do anything. In contrast, the reason why these Griffin Knights are so effective is they just do base 2x damage to cavalry. Like, that's so hard to avoid. And their high swing has a potency, so they're like, they get double debuffs, and that's pretty much impossible to overcome. Like, for the cavalry to defend. Oh, right. Cavalry also can't defend against the high swing, if I remember correctly. Like, yeah, cavalry targets cannot guard against this attack. So there's way too many bonuses. Alright, let's talk.
What a mess. No money for a hired sword, either.
Excuse us, ma'am. Is something the matter?
Oh, whatever might...
She seems not to have hurt me.
How can I fight the soldiers of the damned?
Let me talk to her. Hello?
Oh. When did you... How did you... Who are you people?
We're with the Liberation Army.
Ah, the ones who defy Zenoira's rule.
Our apologies for startling you.
Nonsense. I share the blame for not minding my surroundings.
May we ask what you're doing here exactly?
I was researching this magic sigil, but I've encountered a roadblock, one I have no possible means of resolving alone.
What kind of roadblock are we talking?
When I awakened the sigil, it breathed life into spectral beings, warriors lost to time, who attacked me with reckless abandon.
Hey, warn a guy before you start telling ghost stories. Yet you appear to be unharmed. How about that?
Well, I wasn't finished with my story, now was I? As the phantoms creeped ever closer, I was certain my time was finally up. I closed my eyes and waited for the end, but it never came. There wasn't so much as a scratch on my beautiful skin.
Odd.
After repeated attempts met the same conclusion, I've reached a hypothesis. These ghosts, as you call them, are nothing more than illusions birthed of an ancient sorcery. And the grounds we stand upon were used in days of yore to cultivate strength against the antagonistic apparitions.
Yeah, that's a lot you just dropped on us. What I'm not getting is, how's any of that a problem? If they can't lay a finger on you, it should be easy enough to keep doing your thing, right?
That depends on the thing. I want to know what happens when all of the Sigil's guardians are defeated. But I'm just one woman, and hardly capable of such a feat alone.
Hence the worry.
Yes, I've made it my goal of late to study the effects of combating the illusions. And should you be willing to help with my research, I'd be more than glad to join this liberation of yours.
I understand. We'll do whatever we can to assist. I was hoping you'd say that. Lady's got me all curious now.
You mean it? Oh, that's wonderful.
Sylvie. Now then, allow me to activate the sigil's power. Shaman. Shamans specializing skills which weaken their foes. Position them on the back row to have them weaken foes from relative safety. We got a overworld quest, Sigil of the Ancients. Sylvie, allow me to activate the sigil's power. Probably pronounced Selvi now that I think about it. Selvi. Okay, and then we get an overworld quest, Sigil's Trial Stage 1. This one's an auxiliary stage. Challenge auxiliary stages to battle the phantom soldiers lingering within. You can do this as many times as you like, earning EXP along the way. Salvi, strange. The sigil seems to bear a different energy than before. Is there something wrong with it? I can't say. I may have managed to make it back unscathed myself, but I suspect defeat within its magic realm will bear grave consequences indeed. Elaine, in that case, we must remain ever cautious. Let us prepare well before we head forth. The magic sigils have been recast, and units defeated during the stage will be unable to be redeployed for its duration. Okay, oh, this is only a level 6? So we're not even gonna gain much experience from this. That's okay. We can use this to build up rapport. It'll be like a super easy battle. I think we have some like Nina. Oh, Scarlet! Scarlet needs some experience. How perfect. We'll get Scarlet some experience in this battle. And then we will figure out what to do after that. Wow. Read some more stuff. Sigil of the Ancients. This main quest requires us to claim victory at every magic sigil throughout Fevriff. That could take a while, but we'll start with the beginner one. Alright, thank you for watching. Until next time.